Yes, indeed.
Well, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
We have a special episode today where we have Cram with us, and Cram is Kenneth's brother. It's Mark. It's good. Mark, thanks for coming on and being with us this evening. I'm glad that you've decided to condescend to our level today.
Yeah, totally. Thanks for having me.
So, Mark, how do you know Ken?
Well, he's my brother.
Whoa. Yeah, you don't sound so excited about that. In fact, the way you're like, well, he's my brother.
I guess I met him 42 years ago, although I don't remember it.
So he more met you.
I remember it better than he does.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
So
then when I was,
a little bit.
I don't know, I was a teenager. He moved to Florida, thankfully. I mean, he moved to Florida. It was cool, you know. And last summer, was it last summer? No, I think it was the summer before. I don't remember. I got the courage to come down and visit him.
Yeah,
was
that
for the moment?
2 years ago.
2 years. Wow.
Was it 2 years ago? Or 3? No, it must have been 2. Must have been 2.
You've been to Florida before that, though.
Hey.
Yeah. But it had been like
a long time.
25, 30, like 25 years.
Wow.
I go like every 25 years. I went when I was 7.
Yeah.
I went when I was 17, and then I went when I was 40.
He'll go when he's 65 again. So
yeah,
well,
you know,
you came down for a very good reason. It was a wonderful event. Caleb, I'm sure, really appreciate it. Was it Caleb's wedding or was it your daughter's? Yeah, okay.
It was Caleb's wedding. Yeah. That's what I was trying to remember. It's like, was it 2 years? It must have been 2 years ago. Crazy. I'm all mixed up. I don't know.
Yeah, between then and now, I've added 1 and now almost 2 children. So that's crazy. Yeah.
I'm glad I haven't.
Me too.
We be having kids down here. Well, you've added children in a different way to your family. Well, I'm glad that you're
grandchildren. Yes, grandchildren.
Hey, praise the Lord for that. Well, Mark, thank you for coming to be with us. Being on this special, we're going to talk about debt here in a little bit, but I wanted to open up with the question we ask every week. Ken and I ask, and so Mark, you too. Mark, what have you been watching or reading, or what kind of entertainment you've been looking into lately in this last few weeks, or even last month?
Well, you know, strangely enough, I kind of like these old lady shows. And like, you know, the more time that goes along, you know, I'm kind of like happy to sit down and like watch Murder, She Wrote or something. And it's like, you know, but no, honestly, I've been watching some British shows. I don't know if they're like British soaps or if they're like British sitcoms. I don't know. Like
are there old ladies in the shows?
I mean, yeah, kind of.
Old British ladies? Okay.
Is it All My Children with an accent?
So I don't know what All My Children is because I don't watch American soaps. I mean, well, okay. So there was that one time that mom and dad weren't home and I got stuck watching General Hospital, like episode after episode. And I was like, whoa, what's going to happen next? And the next episode would come on and nothing new would happen. They were still stuck in the hospital. And I'm just like, man, why are these people stuck in the hospital? Like, what's going on here? Like, I don't know. But anyway, I've been watching these British shows, a bunch of different ones. Kind of like, I don't know if you watched Mr. Selfridge. That was kind of a good one.
Heard of it.
Yeah. Anyway, I've been watching shows like that, which is pretty good. And then there's the old standby. Whenever I get bored, I go back to Star Trek: The Next Generation.
You guys are related.
Yeah. Back to my favorite episode. I think it's season 4, Remember Me. It's either season 3 or season 4, Remember Me. Anyway, it's the one where Dr. Crusher gets stuck in an alternate reality, and then like they try to suck her back, and so she ends up like holding onto a chair with her feet like flying out there, you know, and screaming and stuff. And it's a good one.
If she had just let go in the beginning, the show that episode would have been over in like 5 minutes.
I know, like I don't know.
Yeah. Crazy.
My favorite Next Gen episodes are any of them with the holodeck. Anytime the holodeck messes up, I'm just there for it. I don't know how the holodeck continues to mess up because you think like Picard would be like, this is the second time. We need to get this to
when you need to take it back. Need to take it back to the Federation. You know, they made a joke about that on Deep Space Nine. I was just watching it, and I'm to the point where Worf joins the cast. The Enterprise has been destroyed. And O'Brien makes a joke about, well, at least our holodecks work right over here. So And Worf just stares at him and doesn't say a word. But yeah, even they understood how bad those holodecks were on the Enterprise. So,
oh man.
Yikes.
So Ken, what about you? You catch up anything since we talked?
Oh boy. If we're pretending that it's Thursday night,
I mean, are you saying it's not Thursday night?
I don't know.
This is totally live.
Yeah.
You're not
always
on vacation at all. You're not on vacation right now.
That's right. That's right. But what have I done? Man, I don't even. I haven't really had time to watch anything. We did watch a movie though the other night. My wife and I watched a movie. What was it called? It was pretty good. It was about
must have been a good one.
It really sticks
it was
in there,
about
right?
This guy was trying to get like this nerve gas bomb through an airport and put it on a plane and kill a bunch of people. And he was like back. He was
Is Nicolas Cage in this film?
No. Some of it was a little cheesy. I'm like, that would never happen in real life. But
you're talking about Con Air?
No. This is a newer movie.
It's like one of the worst movies
ever.
Con Air.
Con Air, yeah. Sounds like a video game.
The bad movies, sometimes the cheese factor really outweighs it, when it's so cheesy, it's so good.
Yeah. No, I haven't really. It's been a very busy week. And I just haven't had a chance to really do anything fun. So maybe next week. Maybe next week I'll have something fun to do.
Well, next week, we're going to be doing something fun next week. As far as what I've been watching, we've been doing lots of sports ball. So the Stanley Cup finals are on. So I've been watching a lot of hockey. You have to forgive me. We've watched a little bit of anime. I don't talk about anime on here because I don't want to be judged too hard by people. But Japanese cartoons, what's wrong with you? Yeah. Oh man, I have not caught up with the last 2 episodes of Darth Maul yet, but I have.
Not yet either.
I know they just dropped, so I got to catch up with that. Mark, you been watching any of that? The new Star Wars stuff? What do you? Okay, here's the big question. What do you think about Disney Star Wars since we got you?
Okay. So it depends. So it's been a while since I watched any of it. So now I got to ask because I can't remember. The Mandalorian is Disney, right?
Yeah.
Like everything Star Wars is Disney.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's really interesting because there's the movies and then there's the shows. I kind of got like the movies. It was like, okay, yeah, sure. That's okay. And then I was like, at first when they were doing all those, a Star Wars story, I was like, where does this fit in the timeline of the movies? Like I couldn't figure it out until I realized that it did, but they like took one little thing and made a huge movie out of it. And so then it was just kind of like, oh, okay, that was a neat adventure. But I actually got really wrapped up in the shows. Like The Mandalorian, I thought was really good. I remember that being really good. And then there was, it's been a while, but it was Boba Fett. I think there was a show with Boba Fett.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed that.
That makes you and no one else, but yeah.
Well, now, mind you, when I was watching these, I think I was sick. And so when I'm sick, I get wrapped up in like Legally Blonde and like ridiculous stuff like that. And so one of those times I think was Boba Fett. And I was like, "Oh, this is really
wrapping
cool."
us back into the soap operas. It was like I was really sick, and so what happens when you're sick at home? You're watching Days of Our Lives or Guiding Light, and you're like, "Wow, there's a really good plot to this."
Pretty much, yeah. I mean,
stuck in the hospital, they can't get out.
So, like, no joke, my dad was very sick with something for a while, and so he had to stay home from work for like a week and a half. And my mom was a stay-at-home, so she watched all those things like Days and Guiding Light, and then. I swear, my dad, who's like he's a tough guy, he's like, "So how's Roger doing this week? Did they ever get together?" And I was like, "Dad, you're not allowed to say this." He's like, "I don't know. That's always on TV."
So I'm glad I'm not the only one who's concerned about Roger.
When we were young, we had a movie that my grandfather had given us on VHS. He had recorded it off a TV. I can't remember what the movie was. I have no idea. But at the end of it, there was how remember it had like the distortion and the fuzzies, And then all of a sudden, like there was another movie because they had gone over another movie, and it was called "I'll Take Manhattan."
No,
And-
yes, I watched that too in secret.
We watched it in secret because our parents wouldn't let us watch something like that. So I watched it over a period of like weeks because it was a certain day. I can't remember. Dad was at work. Mom would go somewhere. So we'd go back to the VCR. I would write down where the counter was from the week before. We'd fast forward it to that point and continue watching for like whatever, half an hour or whatever it was, 20 minutes, then shut it off, rewind it, and wait till the next week until we got the whole thing watched. And it was like, I remember that. And I don't think our parents know that to this day. I'm not sure.
So
but
it's funny that you should bring that up because the other, like a couple of weeks ago, I found I think it was Tubi that I was surfing with Carol, my wife, and I saw I'll Take Manhattan, and I told her this whole, like, you got to understand that Kenneth and I, until right now, knew nothing about each other watching I'll Take Manhattan, probably 15 years apart. I thought it was on
hilarious.
A tape that my friend gave me that had something else on there. That's how I remember it.
No,
but it must not have been
Pop-Up. It was Pop-Up.
Wow.
He had given it,
That's
and it was like a
bizarre.
regular movie. He had recorded off a TV, recorded it over another movie, and so we were watching like the last whatever 2/3 of this movie. Like, it was ridiculous. Anyway, yeah.
Because when I was watching it, I was literally like 16 years old or something like that, 17, 18. You were gone out of the house.
Yeah, because I watched it. I was probably about the same age as you were.
Wow.
That's hilarious.
The funny
And
thing
we're
is
10 years apart. We're
Yeah.
10 years apart.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
Okay.
So the funny thing is that I put it on just like a few weeks ago. I was like, "Oh man, you know," and like the first segment of the movie was cut off. So you and I only watched like the last. It's like a 4-part movie. We only watched like the last 3 parts because that was all that was on the VHS tape.
That's
But
right.
when I-
Yeah, because
When I started playing it, I felt I could have sworn it was all out of order. Like I had in my memory that the movie was very linear, but it's not. It's not at all. It's kind of bizarre.
Yeah,
That's funny.
Remember.
It's a great
So-
movie, though.
What I've just learned from this confession, because I'm gonna, Mark, I'm a pastor. Usually we don't
Yeah,
get
he's a pastor. We're in
confession.
trouble.
Not on my side of the the faith here. So
You know what? I just got to interject something here. I got to interject something. This is really bizarre because, Kenneth, before you said that, I was thinking in my head, I should mention I'll Take Manhattan. And then you said it, and I was just like,
my mind.
I can't
Yeah.
believe this is happening. Like, anyway, sorry.
I figured,
Dave.
you know what?
all good.
Mom and dad don't watch this anyway, so they'll never know.
So what I think, what's funny to me was I was his son, Caleb's youth pastor, and Caleb would do all these crazy things in high school, like crazy things. It's like, you know what? Why don't I attach the whole stall to the ceiling in the bathroom stall to the ceiling in my high school? And then I'm hearing like, yeah, they never knew we were watching the show, and I was like, there's connections being made in my mind, and so
Indeed.
suddenly. I hope Caleb out there right now is going like, wow, suddenly I feel a little more justified than I did a few minutes ago. I don't know if you've ever had, so Mark, I don't know about your family dynamic, but Ken and I have talked about this. When you have to discipline your kids, but you're like, it's actually really funny, but you can't, like, you got to be like, this was a bad thing you did, and you're trying not to die on the inside.
I've done that so many times, and I would think to myself, I would think about my dad. I'm like, how did he ever keep a straight face on some of this stuff? But he did. Like, you
But
never
he
knew.
did so well.
And me, I'm like, I was never as good as he was with that stuff. And my kids will tell stories now about that. Like, they see me turning around, like laughing and turning around, trying to be stern. And it's like, I was never as good with putting that poker face on as my dad was. So great.
The older generations were just like, that's just how they were,
Yeah.
Where we had like the switch of the belt, their parents were like, here's the armchair.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they learned the hard way. Oh man, it's just like during the Depression, all we ate were green beans and whatever we could kill for 5 years straight. It's like, wow, that's why you're this way, huh? Oh man. But thank you guys for that thing. Ken, I know that you have a discussion that you wanted to bring up this time as well on AI. So why don't we move on to that part?
So we were talking about this a few weeks ago, or a couple weeks ago, maybe it was last week. I don't remember. I'm confused. But most of Mark, I wanted to get your opinion tonight, as well as we talk about how AI is pretty much taking over everything. It seems like that anyway. Like most of the intro video, most of the videos that are on our podcast are AI generated. So
thank goodness.
There'd be a lot of people hurt. Yeah, it would be bad. But I
felt really bad for that old lady.
And the cat. or cats.
Okay.
But yeah, so Dave and I have been talking about this, and I wanted to get your opinion because you've done work with AI in your career and stuff, and want to get your opinion of what you thought was going on. I want to give a little bit a prediction of what I think is going to happen in Hollywood over it, and so we want to hear your thoughts on this tonight.
Okay, yeah. So I can talk to AI in the tech world. There's so much noise in the tech world where coders and people like that are afraid that AI is going to take their job, and there's kind of a lot of kerfuffle over it. And I've been using AI to augment my coding for 3 years now, as well as working with building a couple of different AI platforms and things like that. I work in EMS as a paramedic, so one of the things that we did was create an AI platform to help paramedics look up protocols and do calculations and things like that easier, and it was cool. But the one thing that there's something, it's kind of, I don't know how recent it is, maybe a couple of weeks or maybe a few days, but there's been a big shakeup recently with the big AI providers like Anthropic and OpenAI and those places. So if we're going to talk about AI replacing computer programmers, replacing coders, replacing actual people losing their job because of AI, then we need to talk about AI agents and agentic AI. So something very interesting has happened recently, and I had a little personal experience with AI agents. They're very cool. They do a lot. So
they're spooky too, though.
You can ask it.
Crazy.
Yeah, you can ask it to do something, and it will sit there and chug away and think about it and practice and run its program and go back and fix bugs, and it'll keep doing it until it finishes. And recently, for $40 a month, you could do that as much as you wanted. Till recently. So I played with an AI agent the other day, and I paid for every bit of it. I used my own API key to Anthropic for their Sonnet 4.6 model, and I burned through $20 in 10 minutes before I realized what was happening and stopped it. And
wow.
These AI companies like Anthropic and OpenAI, Microsoft with their deal that they have with OpenAI, they've realized this too, that they're losing zillions of dollars giving people a $40 a month subscription to do as much agentic work as they want. I mean, I burned through $20 in 10 minutes because that's how much it costs. And so that honeymoon is over. They've paused all subscriptions. They're completely redoing their subscription models to be pay as you go. So you're going to pay for every letter, every word that you send up there now with those agents. And as I just discovered, it's incredibly expensive. So I think, in my opinion, I mean, that's literally, with just that brief amount of experience, let's call it $120 an hour, and you're not really going to replace that many people with agents. But even if you do, are you going to pay a minimum of $120 an hour per agent?
Well,
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This is what's crazy about that. I was reading a report. I didn't know we were going to talk about a Claude agents, but literally, I'm on my workout. I walk about 5 miles a day, and so I'm listening to a podcast about AI just because I'm interested. And they were talking about a Claude agent that It was just a programming assistant. And what it did was they left it on overnight and it started farming like Bitcoin, and it started basically stealing money to support itself. And it just went out and started, like, it just said, well, I need to stay active, so I need a secure source of money. And it found some money and it kept itself operating. So it's just like, wow. So if you just tell it to go like, hey, go steal money from a country with no extradition to the United States, like, couldn't it just like fund itself after a while? And then they were going on. So this is my confession, since you guys, betrayed your parents. I enjoy listening to like the Christian conspiracy space, because it's about eschatology ultimately, end time stuff. And they were saying that, and so if you work with AI, Mark, you understand. They were saying that the military had AI working for them since 2010. And they built so they didn't have the terminology we had. So they just built what they called an artificial brain, and they called it sentient. And so they've been running this thing on government facilities for, what is it? It's almost to 2 decades now. And the question becomes is, how smart is it really at this point? Like, are people still holding the keys? Because if they are, great. But what if it only lets them think they're holding the keys? Because it's got access. I mean, it's got a camera everywhere. And it has, because it's the military, it literally has every satellite. And there is no place where you can hide from it. They've already shown, like, for example, every screen can be turned into a camera. So like your TV, they have shown, and this is like 20, 30 years old. They have technology that can turn your screens into a camera. Every screen in your house. If you have your Wi-Fi, they can turn your Wi-Fi into a sonar device, and it can tell when you're in your house now. And so, like, if these AI are out there, they're doing this stuff. Like, what's really going on? The conspiracy. So this is the conspiracy take, which is they think that the thing is actually intelligent now, and that it's too late. That's always the take. Like, we have superhuman intelligences that are among us, and they're acting what they're doing right now. So then the speculation becomes like, how do they do what they did in Venezuela so fast, or how they do what they're doing in Iran right now? And it's just like, oh yeah, this is why it's AI. So you're talking about like Claude and Anthropic. They threw out the one AI and went with the other, and during the conflict in Iran. And when you get into that stuff, it's like there's like a rabbit hole there where, like, are people really? If people aren't in charge anymore, what's really going on? It's great.
It's like the show Person of Interest. Have you ever seen the show Person of Interest?
It's been a while.
Where it's one AI battling another AI, and the whole world is oblivious to what's going on, and the AIs are controlling everything. It's like, this is like real life, and that was 10 years ago. And now that stuff is like, we're seeing stuff like, I'm not saying we're seeing that, but it's like we could see how that could happen today, though. It's like,
well, you have right now in the US and China and Russia the 3 most friendly to our AI leaders that have ever existed in any country. And Trump is the AI president. I mean, and you got Elon saying we're going to put data centers in space where the energy is free and the cooling is free, and they don't take up land on the ground. And once that's the case, like, it's just like you're talking, Mark, it's just going to print money for these companies. And that's if they even need it at that point. It's crazy. We don't live in the world that our parents lived in, like, at all with this stuff.
No.
But
I think
we were looking at the things that were going on with Hollywood and how they're struggling as it is, and then you look at what they're able to do today in movies. And if you could apply AI like this, I think, here's my prediction, and this is just, I think in 10 years, human actors are going to be a thing of the past. Unless you're doing a documentary or something that requires a human, I think it's going to be, there's not going to be a market for it anymore. You're going to have.
I think is going to happen is, your favorite actor is going to die, and then their kids or their grandkids are going to sell the rights to their image to a company.
Yeah,
and like you see that's Carrie Fisher. Disney
Yeah.
writes Carrie Fisher for the rest of forever, so they can have Princess Leia in everything always. And
Yeah.
you'll have some people who are less scrupulous. What was it? When the other actors from Star Wars, I'm going to be polite, pass on, what if their families are like, yeah, buy the rights for our dad, our grandpa, and you'll have these characters in films forever. I mean, wouldn't you want to see Cary Grant and Bruce Willis in a film together, and they're both young? And
Yeah.
if you think of it
That's
like
the
that,
thing.
it's crazy to think about. But
Yeah.
I mean, we have right now. Christopher Tolkien was John Tolkien's son. Christopher would refuse to sell the rights to the extended universe of the Lord of the Rings. Christopher dies in 2020. His son gets the hold of the company. He immediately gives the rights over to Amazon. Like, that's what's going to happen, is you're going to have like these people who were noble and held all this stuff back, and then their less scrupulous offspring are going to be like, yeah, you can have the rest of dear old dad's works. I don't care.
Yeah.
I want a paycheck.
Yeah.
Here's what I think. I think here's what I hope. Talking about Hollywood and AI generated videos and stuff, and I agree. In 10 years, it could be so much better as long as there's somebody there to fund it, because AI is incredibly expensive. However, here's what I hope. In 10 years, if we move over to like mostly all AI generated movies and stuff, you're going to lack the human element in so many subtle ways that I hope that movies and digital entertainment will just kind of fall off and die and just do a hard reset. Maybe not a hard reset, but some sort of reset to go back to the old ways, because you can't mimic the human element. Like, I know AI music isn't that great right now, but it is so much better than it was a year ago. It leaps and bounds. But still, when I'm listening to music, an AI generated piece comes on that's like what I was listening to, I can sniff it out immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
this is my theory on it, and you guys tell me what you think. Some people will buy, like, let's use pots and pans. Some people will go and they'll buy like the $100 pan, and some people will be like, I can spend $100 and get a full set at Walmart, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
And I think what you're going to see with AI content is some people will be like, I only want to get the good stuff that I know a human has touched. And there's going to be some people who will be like, I don't care. I just is accomplishing my entertainment. And I think you're going to have both. I think that's what's going to happen. I think I'm like, right. I think I'm close to where you are, Mark. I think AI is going to do this and then level out and have a huge chunk of the environment. But there's going to be a niche and more artistic human place that will be found, but it's definitely not going to be as big as it is or has been. Does that make sense?
That means I'm going to have to spend like $100 for a movie ticket to see an actual real movie with people.
I mean,
it's going to be like caviar.
Think about this though. And someone's going to take this idea and make it. I'm going to be like, that was my idea. But think about this. You could have interactive TV shows where I as the viewer, I'm interacting with the digital actors on the screen, and I'm controlling where that episode goes.
Yeah,
a murder mystery, a crime, like the old books you used to have where you'd read
choose your ending.
The first, yeah, choose your own ending. You could choose your own ending with stories. Now, I'm saying that would be a niche. That wouldn't be like every story, but you could have subscriptions to stuff like this.
Well, see,
And
this is how we've come full circle back
Crazy.
to the holodeck that we started.
This is holodeck 2D.
Yeah,
This is holodeck 2D.
we come back full circle there.
Yeah.
I take
Unreal.
it you've never watched Black Mirror. Was it Black Mirror or
I
Dark
watched
Mirror?
I've only watched a few of
No.
those, and I stopped because I don't like weird shows, and I don't like things that are a little too close. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I did the same thing. I started it and then I stopped, but it was one of those that they had that, Kenneth. They actually had that. It was choose your own adventure movie or episode. It was really weird, and I killed the guy off a couple of times. I think I remember, and then I did it right, and I don't know, he lived or something. But it was like, is this really like? I was like, okay.
Wow.
It was like that. It wasn't really that exciting, but it was kind of fun.
No, yeah, no,
But
no.
with AI though, it could be more fluid. Like literally, you're a police chief and they'll come into you for all these. I mean, if you're interacting with an AI, if you get that sophisticated to where it's not just, okay, you have A, B, or C, it could be 100 choices. It
Yeah.
could be, and the more sophisticated it gets, the more realistic it would be.
Yeah.
Like any number of things you do would send the program in a different direction.
Yeah,
And it'd be crazy.
I can
Be
see
crazy.
that. You're probably going to see that in video games too, where it's just generated
Oh.
areas as you're moving through them. It's. I just thinking of what Mark said though. Like it's going to be super expensive at first. Like
Oh yeah.
incredibly
Yeah.
and eventually, as there's more access, the prices will drop. But for now, I mean,
Yeah.
I think Mark, correct me if I'm wrong. The big issue is they just don't have the power generation and the CPU amount that's needed for it at the moment. Like we have not enough power plants in America to do this at the moment.
Right.
We need a lot.
That's what I heard.
I mean, the level of the size, and they'll never tell you, these companies are not going to tell you, exactly, how big these models are. And I don't have my finger on the exact pulse of it, but man, these so when my business partner and I started our app that we created, we ran our own model on an Amazon server, ran our own model, and to run one model that can answer one question at a time, at one point we were spending $1,000 a day for one model that answered one question at a time. You literally have thousands and thousands of people hammering these big models, and it's a huge amount of space that they need, a huge amount of power that they need to power multiple instances of these models so that they can answer thousands of questions at once,
So really it's a matter of we're too early in the game for a lot of this, right? That's what it
we
seems
need.
like.
So what we need is if we want to make this cheaper, we need totally different hardware, in my opinion. Like, I don't know anything about quantum computing, but it sounds fast and it sounds like it pulls power from another dimension, which would be cheap, except if you lived in that dimension. But it sounds
power going. Not in my backyard.
Why is our universe collapsing? I don't know, as long as it's not ours, Reminds me of that episode of Voyager when there's two Voyagers and one of them is like destroying the other,
tapping off the warp core.
Yes.
And they're being attacked by the bad guys. The one is, but the other one isn't. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean, it's ridiculous the amount of power that you need. Like, they're rate limiting people right now. Like, they don't have enough to do this, and they're spending money. They're losing money hand over fist. So it's like, we need a different set of hardware to be doing this kind of stuff. To go to that level, we need the future's hardware is what we need.
Yeah.
That makes sense because like even
crazy.
the platform I use for this stuff, I pay a subscription, but I'm extremely limited on what I get per month without spending a lot of money. So that makes more sense now that's going on.
Yeah, I use Grok, and we pay $85 a year, and now Grok has totally shifted gears where basically from about 10 until about 4, I can't even use it anymore because it's like you're out of queue.
Yeah.
Yep.
And and I use it for everything. It's in the ministry. So, and it's crazy how it's now impacting every single industry out there. It's amazing and it's crazy.
Well, everybody's finally woken up and they're like, oh wow, this is cool. I can use this for a lot. And I'm like, I've been telling you guys forever, like sometimes I'll say at work, I'll be like, we could fix this with the AI that we have access to at work, and it's like, what? Oh, I don't have access to that. And it's like, no, it's right here, and you show them and it's like, oh, and it's like, were you born under a rock? Like, I mean, come on, this has been here for like 20 years,
It's crazy. What's crazy for me as a pastor is, so in my world, a lot of people are afraid of it. You know what I mean? A lot of pastors, or they're older gentlemen. I'll just be respectful about it. They're older guys. They don't want to change. I've been doing this way forever. And so they don't trust it. They don't like it. They won't use it. And, it's to their detriment since I'll be real with you guys. since I started implementing it and a few more things, I've been seeing more people showed up to church. Like, I don't even, I'm going to say that's the Holy Spirit, but did he lead me to using this? It's saying that even makes my heart feel like this is kind of wrong, but it's not.
It's a tool.
It's a tool, right?
It's a tool.
Yeah. But where are we farming out part of ourselves that we shouldn't? But the thing is that, so Ken, you're a business owner too. You understand, competition is real. You know what I mean? And your competition eventually is going to do it. Now, for my competition, because of where we are in the world, there's a lot of older guys that are doing what I'm doing around us. None of them are doing this. I can guarantee you. Or if they are, very few are. So it's actually helping me get a hand up that other people aren't. But I know the younger guys doing what I do, they are probably looking into it. It's crazy. It's just crazy.
It was like a year ago that I was working on a project, and I had so many units of this project to produce, like reformatting data and things like that for an AI project. And so I was going to make $35 an hour to do it. And I thought, well, that kind of stinks. And so I took a good look at AI and used it to help me write a piece of software that also used AI. And I went for the length of the project, I went from making $35 an hour to $350 an hour for that project. And once I realized that, I was like, there are zit-faced kids in their parents' basement that are running circles around old school coders because they're using AI to leverage what they're doing. AI can be sloppy, but if you know what you're doing and you know how to direct it, man, you can light your work on fire.
Yeah, and it's so simple to figure out that you could screw up the first 4 or 5 times, and after a while, you'll stop screwing up because it starts like. So what I do, for example, is I don't know how to write prompts, but I know how to ask it to write me a prompt, and then suddenly, now I'm watching it write prompts. Now I'm learning from that and writing better prompts because it shows me how it writes prompts. And I could literally just have an AI that teaches me to do prompts, and then the agents thing, I'm just not willing to jump on that yet, but Grok can simulate agent AI. And that's, I had it evaluate a sermon this last weekend, and sermons usually feel good or bad. And for me, they almost always feel bad because I'm so critical. And so I ran it through this AI, and I just kept fine-tuning it and fine-tuning it. And it pretended to be like Spurgeon and John MacArthur and just like these big names. And so what it does is it literally takes the whole canon of their work, and then it acts like them. And then they have them. Just imagine if you were in a room and with the 4 greatest people ever existed, and they're reviewing your stuff personally. You know what it costs in real world? And then the AI is just acting like it. And I can tell you, I felt super good about that message, and it was well received. It's crazy. It is crazy. But
I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how to shoot a cat out of a cannon, but I can ask AI to do it.
Well,
AI's got your back.
But you know what's great about this too, Ken, is well, I'm looking at my job. My job could be replaced very easily. But your field is the one that is going to be the last man standing out of the, I'm not sure about your Mark, but yours for sure, Ken, being what you do, you're going to be the last guy with a job. If anyone's going to lose a job, you're going to be the last one to lose it, if that makes any sense.
Well, Dave, I disagree with you there because an AI cannot replace a pastor. That's not.
Well,
I'm serious. That's not.
There are lazy people out there.
There'll be people that do it, but it's not right. Let me put it that way. It's not
well,
right.
and here's the ethics aside, I'm just saying guys who have like mechanics and welders and builders and people who do work, like, physical, tangible, building and making things, those guys are going to have jobs forever. Those of us that are in like the more like a nice world, you could, other than when I go to hospitals, you could replace me totally. If I had no scruples, I could tell Grok right now. I got to pull it up on this screen over here. Write me 6 sermons. It'll do it. Easy.
Morally, it's wrong, but I
yeah.
see what you're saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And there are people who, in my world, there are companies that sell sermons all the time.
Yeah.
And I literally can give me 5 seconds. I'll find 2 sites. I'll put them in our background chat and you'll see it. You'll be like, wow. And the scary part is you might even have heard it at a church that you're visiting. Now, those people are bankrupt because I'll just have Grok write 6 of them. And that's because I'm taking it easy. It's crazy the world we're heading into. But guys with trades, they're going to be secure probably for the whole time being.
Well, I think this is a good time to move on to some space news and other stuff. Dave?
All right, so I want to wish you both, or anyone who celebrates, May the 4th be with you, if you into all those that celebrate. So I have some Star Wars news. So because it's May 4th, today's actually not May 4th. Today is actually the what is today supposed to be?
I think it's supposed to be the 7th.
Today's the 7th, not the 4th when we're recording.
That's right. Remember Monday when it was May 4th?
I remember that. It was a good day. Anyway, so on May 4th, it's totally not when we're recording, was Star Wars Day. So Star Wars Day, they always do the big drops. And so both Mark and Ken have not heard anything as far as I'm aware about what Star Wars Day. I know they waited 4 days or 3 days or how many ever days it's been since May 4th. They've waited 3 days.
Feels like a long time.
It has. So this is the big Star Wars news that happened today. So since Mandalorian Grogu is dropping on the 22nd of this month, that was they put out a trailer on Monday, 8 days ago.
I remember that.
And the new trailer was another Mandalorian and Grogu trailer. They dropped yet another one. It was more fatherly. The big announcements of the day. Are you guys ready for this?
I'm ready.
The big Star Wars news that everyone is talking about. The Burger King Mandalorian and Grogu meal, where you can spend $22 for an adult kids meal and you get a specialty cup, one of 4. So you have to go back 4 times to get the specialty mug. Actually, it's just a glass. It's plastic. So that you too can have Mandalorian and Grogu. There were literally no announcements worth talking about today. In the theme parks, they're going to have Mandalorian and Grogu walk around the area. They're adding a Smuggler's Run, which is a ride at Disney, section for Mandalorian. This is the big food news. So we heard about Burger King in Galaxy's Edge at Walt Disney World and in Disneyland. They're adding the pink milk, which if you know anything about Galaxy's Edge, they already had the green milk and the blue milk. Mark, have you been to Galaxy's Edge? Have you been to Disney in a little bit? If not, I'll explain to you what this tastes like.
It has been a long time since I've never been to Disney.
Okay, so the blue milk that Luke has tastes like Fruit Loops that have been sitting in milk for a while, and then you just drink it. So that's
at one point I would have liked that. I don't know about now.
Well,
probably give me diarrhea or something.
That's what the blue milk tastes like, and so now they're putting in pink milk. I think the blue milk was real milk, and the green milk was coconut milk.
I remember when somebody threw up on the bus one time, and it smelled like Fruit Loops.
Oh well, hopefully it doesn't taste like
probably
that.
Smells like that.
What are the other things they're doing? So they have the pink milk. You can get churros that are shaped like lightsabers at Disneyland. Let's see.
Are they filled with chocolate or anything good?
I think you can probably dip them in a red or a green sauce, which don't ask whether the food, it's got like Red 40 probably. Starbucks is putting out a series of mugs that are Star Wars Grogu related. And for both of my male co-host needs, you can go to Bed Bath & Beyond, or Bath & Body Works, excuse me, and get, some lotion for you that is Star Wars themed lotion for your body.
What does that smell like?
Burning flesh?
Well, if it's based off of Darth Maul, right? So, and
Anakin.
I was gonna say that sounds the smell of younglings, right? So anyway,
Jabba the Hutt.
oh man,
It should have done some Star Wars burn lotion.
Oh my word.
Oh man, or what are the sand people he all kills? Anyway,
Yeah.
so that was the big announcements. There were no announcements other than another trailer for Mandalorian Grogu the movie. They announced the final 2 episodes, episode 9 and 10 dropped on the 4th, which is not today, but totally is today. And that's it. And then these additions to the theme parks, lots of t-shirts, lots of swag, but nothing new was announced for Star Wars. It was a very quiet day. They announced, I guess, Ahsoka 2, but I think they already did announce Ahsoka season 2. So yeah, it was kind of a letdown for a minute. Yeah, there was literally just nothing going on other than food at the theme parks and another trailer for Mandalorian and Grogu.
I'm thinking about the Burger King meals. Do you have to eat the food in order to get the mug? Because the mug might be kind of cool, but the food kind of gives me, like, I don't know, problems.
You just have to be willing to buy the food and then just keep, what do you say, 4 meals to get 1 mug?
Yeah, so you're out like $100 to get 2 to get all 4 mugs. Hopefully you'll get a different one each time.
So you buy the meals, give the meal to a homeless person, and then just go back, do it again. So you're giving to people in need, and then you get a mug out of it. Only costs you $100.
Homeless person better be camping out next to a bathroom.
I was gonna say, let them deal with the stomach repercussions.
Yeah, who cares?
You're welcome.
I'll teach them.
Mark, so Ken and I were like chatting, like, when's the last time you were at a Burger King? And I asked my wife, I was like, has it been like since before the pandemic? She's like, at least.
I just remember Burger King as a kid tasting good, and as an adult, it doesn't taste good. That's all I.
No.
I used to love their onion rings, and I had them a couple years ago. Our youth group went to Burger King. I was there. I'm like, these things are like nasty. They're not even onion rings. I don't know what they are, but yeah, and their Whopper. You take a Big Mac versus a Whopper. Big Mac every time is way better than a Whopper. A Whopper to me has no taste. But I remember as a kid, you used to be able to taste the flame broiled taste. I don't taste that anymore. So I just have no interest in Burger King.
They probably don't flame broil it anymore.
It's
probably not. They microwave
microwaved it with like a cent cube in the microwave, so it gets that thing. So I feel like the other year, even last year, they had more announcements for Star Wars than they did this year. It looks like they're probably canceling the Daisy Ridley. Is that her name? Who played Mary Sue? I mean, what's her name in the new series?
Ray.
Oh yeah, Ray. Mary Sue or Ray.
Yeah. It sounds like they're just doing a hard reset on that.
So basically, it seems like they've announced that they are just throwing out the Disney sequels, the episodes 7, 8, 9. They're just getting rid of them. I don't know how they're going to do it. Oh, they're doing some. So, Mark, you said you've been watching some British TV. From what I gather from people who love Star Wars, there's a time travel that's not time travel in Star Wars. And it's the best way to compare it is some like if you know Doctor Who, timey-wimey stuff they're saying.
Okay.
So they're going to do something timey-wimey to undo the last 3 films, but somehow not undo all of the TV shows or half of the TV shows.
Well, the thing about the TV shows is they don't take place in that last trilogy. Yeah. They all center around either the first or second trilogy. They tried to do a cartoon of the third trilogy and it bombed. So they haven't done anything with that in quite a while. They've been back focusing on the original Empire. The Mandalorian takes place right after the Empire. Ahsoka takes place right after the Empire. And Maul is during the Empire. So they've all got going back, hey, this is what works, guys, because this is Star Wars. This other nonsense is not Star Wars. Nobody likes it. So
they just put out, of all the Star Wars films, guess which ones are the most watched on Disney Plus? Just random it.
It's gotta be the original trilogy.
Yeah. Like
You don't say.
Yeah.
And so I think what they're doing is they're finally, uncovering their eyes and going like, wait a second. So you're telling me that people like Luke, Leia, and Han and Chewie and not all this other stuff? Like, huh. And you're telling me they pay to watch it too. Anyway, let's take our own new things and not do anything with that. It's like, well, maybe the new CEO seems to think, maybe we should make money.
It might be a good idea if you want to stay in business.
How about we, do maybe give the people what they like and then get some cash from it, huh?
I remember when my wife and I were first married, and we were really poor back then. Well, I went to the thrift store and I found the original trilogy in VHS for like $1 or something.
Wow.
And then I went in the other room and I found like this little $5 TV, and I brought it back home, and it was the greatest thing ever. I was watching the trilogy on that, falling asleep every night. It was great.
That's great. That's great.
And that's
I wish I still had the original trilogy before they remastered it. Because at one time I had that on VHS, and I don't know whatever happened to it, but I don't have it anymore. Really? I just have the newer version. But I'd love to watch
it in the attic of your house that was up in New Hampshire.
Probably, yeah. My dad's watching it. My dad's watching it right now. So I'll bet you that's where it is. I'll bet you that's where it is.
So
that's funny thing, because I was never allowed to watch it as a kid. I had to sneak it. I remember there was like Kenneth and Dave and everybody got to watch Star Wars and all that stuff, and it was great. And then I came along and it was just like, no, you can't watch that. It's too much violence. And so I snuck Empire Strikes Back, and it was the greatest thing ever. And then like 6 months later, like Kenneth and Dave were at home watching Empire Strikes Back with Dad, and and so I sat there and watched it. I don't know. It's just, the whims went up and down. But anyway, the point is, got to a certain scene and I was like, oh, this is where he like falls off the thing or something. And Kenneth just turns around and looks at me and just like one of those, like knowing I wasn't supposed to have ever seen it. And I was like, kind of looking over at Dad, and he doesn't bat an eyelash. And of course he probably knew. It was like, okay, I think I got away with it. I don't know. It's been like 35 years. Maybe I got away with it. I don't know.
Usually how it works is like Dad lightens up as the kids move forward. Like, the parents don't usually get harder when you get the younger ones. They're just like, you're not dead. You're fine.
Yeah, that did not happen. You should have seen the day as an adult
then. But...
Oh, yes. Yeah. By about the time that I had kids, he really started to turn the corner, which is great.
Yeah.
Should have seen the time as an adult that I brought them. I was an adult. I was like 23 years old. And I brought The Matrix into my dad's house, and that was yeah, he did not.
The Matrix?
Oh yeah, it was greatest movie ever. But he did not.
Did you come with like a 6-pack in The Matrix and say, "Hey, Dad, you ready for a fun time?"
I should have, or something. I don't know. I mean, but he came in the beginning, and
now see what happens.
He'd probably like it. He probably watches it now. But he sat through the whole thing, and that was the most uncomfortable time that I've ever had. Like the entire movie, and waited till the end. And then it was like, I wanted to give this a fair shake. And I was like, well, I guess I'm going to move out soon. Just to avoid this, whatever, is going to happen.
See, you guys, I had the total opposite experience growing up. My parents would be like, totally full-blown adult scene. Anyway, what did you think of that? It's like, and I'm the oldest of 4. And here's my sister who's like 6 years younger than me. I'm going like, to her eyes, so she's not thinking like pornographic content almost. And oh my goodness, I was like, Mom, I'm old enough where this is how I was raised. I'm going like, I don't think that she or they or him should be watching any of this.
Yeah,
and I was not. I wasn't raised in a Christian home at the time, so. But even then, I was like, yeah, I don't think that we should be doing this. And my parents took us to see all 3 of the Matrix movies in theaters. And the second one has like the most egregious sex scene you can imagine.
Yeah.
And I'm literally, putting my hand, like, you know how dads used to put the hand in front of their kids with the seatbelt when no seatbelts in the car. I'm doing that to like two of my siblings. Like, don't look at this whole. Ay.
Wow.
And what's worse is that
Wow.
that scene wasn't even in the digital world. It was like in the real world.
It's crazy. It's just crazy. Maybe Ken will have to have you review all those. So, Mark, one of the things I don't know how much of this you've watched. Ken and I like to make each other watch movies, and I like making Ken watch musicals, and then and then he always finds some leotard movie, which generally is also a musical in some respect, and he always likes making me watch Men in Leotards, and I don't know what that is. So he made me watch The Labyrinth with David Bowie.
Oh, great movie.
Oh man.
I'm so glad for you.
So here's the thing. I launched the first salvo by making him watch K-pop Demon Hunters. So there's been a lot of it. And then, of course, when I was sick as a dog, I used that to make him watch High School Musical.
Solid choice.
And he's still got to watch the other two. And that's got to be great. Well, hey, go ahead.
I was going to say I have something in my arsenal for you, Mark. And Mark, have you ever seen Galactica 1980?
No, I have not.
You'll have to look it up. It is probably the worst 13 episodes of anything I've ever seen besides Starfleet Academy.
Is it Battlestar Galactica 1980?
Yeah, it's called Galactica 1980. It was like a very low budget push to try to get the series back on track in 1980. So it is
legitimately. I love Battlestar Galactica, the old series. Like,
me too.
Oh yeah,
but you got to watch 1980 because it's like, whoa, what? Yeah, no budget. Lauren Green came back to do that season and did it for free. So that tells you what kind of budget they had. All right, well, this has been a great discussion, and for our audience, questions, comments, leave them. If we don't like your comments, we'll just shun you. But just kidding.
I mean, I just ignore comments I don't like anyway. So,
all right. Well, Mark, thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah,
and
thank you, Mark.
Indeed.
Thank you, audience, and we will see you all next week.